Hi, how are you?
For you guys.
Good.
Seriously.
What's your opinion of abortion?
I lost my son because my fiance decided that it'd be a good idea not to do it. I wanted my son. I could have taken care of my son. That's what she did to it instead.
Really? Wow. Isn't that terrible that we don't have any say at all in it, eh? As men, you know?
Because it's not our womb. It's still my child.
You have another child that
He was born for 4 days. Well, on the 26th he was born.
this year?
4 or 5 days ago.
You're kidding? Wow.
But I don't even know his name yet. Why?
No, but she didn't have an abortion though. That's good.
No, she didn't. But she threatened it every time. Every time she got mad at me, that was the first thing. The last time we had our fight and I had to call the OPP. You just watch, I'm going to the clinic. She was already 21 weeks pregnant.
I can't believe that. Usually it's the man that's forcing the woman to have the abortion.
She had that happen to her last time. She had to get an abortion on her second child because if she didn't, he threatened to throw her down the stairs every single time she said no, to do it himself.
Wow. That's what usually happens.
Nobody knows where he is.
But
I can assure you of that.
Well, where's the child now? With the mother, or?
In NICU, still in the hospital, because he's premature because she's a drug user.
Oh no, is she going to be able to look after this child, or what?
She can't even look after her own son.
So what are they going to do with the child then? You're going to look after her?
Try. But my criminal record and my past,
well, you know,
I'm going to have to prove myself more than I already have to get that far.
So where will this child go? Into foster care, probably?
Maybe, I don't know. First I have to figure out what his name is. That's where I have to start, one thing at a time. Well, I grew up here 15 years ago. Moved to Pembroke. Started a life up there.
Right.
Got very, very, very screwed up. Went in the wrong direction. My fault.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've turned your life around. That's good.
And I learned. And that 2 years in jail was the end of 7 years.
So being in jail was actually not a bad thing, really. They helped you out in there. Did they help you?
They don't help you.
What did they do to you?
They put a number on you and make money off you. And treat you like shit.
Really?
Welcome to the system.
So they don't make any attempt to try to help you out or anything?
I had to get approved to go to a mental health facility rather than do my time in the jail.
Gee. Well, you're out now.
I'm out and I'm a better person.
Yeah, don't go back in.
Now I have a son to think about. Yeah, he was due October 30th.
It was due October the 30th, so it's a month. He's a month early.
Before 36 weeks. He's premature because she's a drug user.
Right.
I'm having a drug test done on him through my CAS worker.
Yeah.
Because when there's a CAS case open like this, she gets a worker, I get a worker, and my son gets a worker. There's 3 workers.
Wow.
Each worker has a say in what happens in the case, based on what they know about their, I don't want to call it a patient, but for lack of a better word, patient. You know what I mean? Their client. Yeah. The client that they're dealing with, my worker deals with me, and she puts in her opinion. Her worker works with her, she puts in her opinion. My son has his own worker, and she puts in her opinion, or their opinion, whatever, him, her, whatever.
Right, on his behalf.
They put in their own opinion, and then they bring it to the board and the superiors, and they make the decisions.
About what's going to happen to the child, eh? So it sounds like it's probably at least temporarily going to be looked after in foster care until they can...
I'd rather that than going to her.
Well, it sounds like it, yeah. And then, you know, you'll still have some contact and maybe
I haven't even met him yet, don't know what he looks like, don't know his name, don't know what time.
But he's safe in the hospital though, right?
Depends on how well you trust her. She's with him in the hospital.
Yeah, but she
can't do anything in the hospital, really.
No, and they wouldn't let that child go home with her
probably.
probably.
She's a drug user, and she's breastfeeding him.
Well, don't they know she's a drug user?
I had to bring it up. They said they would have done a drug test, and if they heard that there was drugs in his system, they would have already probably known, but she does. My worker doesn't have any information yet because she just got assigned to me recently, 2 days after. I knew my child was born before CAS because I have eyes and ears where I need them.
Wow.
And I was the one that told them my child was born. That's what started the shit. She was going to hide it, I almost guarantee it. Maybe not, who knows. The reason this hits so hard to home with me is because now I have a chance to raise the 3rd child I've had in my name. The first child I had, the mother used so many different types of drugs that he died of SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, under 3 months old because she was into fentanyl. I didn't know he existed until I heard he died.
Oh wow. She had a miscarriage, I guess. Did she? Like?
Oh, he was 3 months born.
Oh.
He was 3 months old when he died from SIDS in his crib.
Because the mother was.
And they attributed it to most likely being because she was using fentanyl.
Wow.
And God knows what else if you're into something like that.
Yeah.
I used to be a drug user myself.
But you're not taking any drugs now, eh?
The only thing I do is marijuana. You won't catch me even on alcohol.
Marijuana isn't probably too good for you either, I don't think. Maybe better than the other stuff, but...
It depends. You see, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right.
No, I was just going to say, just because Justin says it's okay doesn't mean it is.
I don't like it.
Oh boy, he needs a lot of prayers, that guy, I'm telling you. Wow.
As far as I'm concerned, he doesn't deserve it.
Well, we all do. I mean, I think... I've been told that some of his siblings were aborted. So he's kind of an abortion survivor in a sense. At least one of his siblings were aborted, so that's got to affect you too.
And then you take the responsibility because of your last name. Here, Elliot Trudeau. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, well, it sounds good, pro-choice, but what about the choice of the child?
What about my choice? Isn't it my child too?
Well, yeah, from the father's point of view too. It's always about the mother's choice to.
Without my sperm, what would have happened? You wouldn't be fucking pregnant. Period. Done. Nothing about it. Nothing more to it.
I know, that's true. I mean, men are dismissed, but the whole point is it's a human rights issue. Like you were saying, your 3-month-old child died.
He died, and then the second one got aborted.
Right, but I mean...
Without my consent, because pro-choice.
Yeah.
No. It don't matter. Not in the world today.
No. Well, you're pro-life. That's something to be said for that.
Life deserves a chance. Always.
That's right. Yeah, even though you've been through a lot, your life isn't over. And you've changed a lot.
I believe the only person that has the right to make that choice is the child. But do you tell me that child can make that choice on his own or her own? They can't make that choice for themselves. It's very simple. The only person that has any right, and even in a lot of views, nobody has a right to take a life. That's playing God to some people.
Absolutely.
I don't disagree with that, but to a certain degree, that if a decision's to be made about somebody based on their life or death even, it should be the person that's involved and the one that's going to be taking the consequences, if at all. I don't know my view on whether I think playing God is bad or whether that life should make its own decision whether it wants to continue its life.
Well, the child in the womb obviously can't make that choice.
And it's very simple.
Right, so
why?
We have no right to take their life at all.
And you're trying to tell me pro-choice. I don't see pro-choice having any grounds for reasonability.
No.
Whatsoever.
It doesn't, no.
I don't know why nobody else sees it as simple as it is.
Well, you've been through it, Braden. So, and I guess we have to go. Let me shake your hand again. I'm Vince, and maybe we'll have an opportunity to meet again sometime. I hope. In the meantime, good luck.